Welcome back to Improvision Entertainment. My name is Hunterman.
My name is Ryan.
And this is Euro Truck Simulator 2. And we're now transporting the final yacht from Stockholm to Oslo. So that's happening. We're doing that. That's the thing that's going on. Alright. We are renting a truck for this, just like we were the last time. So expect terribility. It kind of looks like we're taking the same yacht we just delivered and we're putting it somewhere else. So
Words.
gotta make sure turn my lights on. Damn. We just hired Stephanie, a new driver, to go in our new warehouse, our new garage in Erdai, Turkey. I am not certain I'm saying that right. I'm never certain I'm saying that right. It happens a lot. Okay, hold on. What is this arrow telling me to do? It's telling me to go. What? What is this arrow telling me to do? What the fuck? I think I'm going to the left, and then I'm going around through a tunnel or something that goes up underneath myself, or something. I'm not sure what that. I don't know why that was crossing itself like that. That was very confusing to me, to my brain.
So, you said you're renting trucks to do these jobs.
Yeah, that's how you start, by doing quick jobs.
Oh, okay. So this is just the mode that you have selected. I got you.
Well, if you do a quick job, you're doing a transportation with a truck that isn't yours for basically less money because you are basically renting the truck in addition to the cargo that you're transporting. It's how when you first get a garage and start playing the game, you don't have a truck for yourself. You have to purchase that truck. Like how I just purchased the truck for Stephanie a second ago for her to be able to... She's using my truck, my company dime, to make money for herself and also for me. But the reason I'm doing quick jobs is because it's easier for achievements. Specifically, I need to find a specific cargo, in this case for this achievement, that is going to a specific place on the map, which is a lot harder to rig when there could be a lot of places that could transport that cargo that are only going to one specific cargo. In order for you to physically check that with your own truck, you would literally have to drive to the various places and check them one after the other and hope that a vehicle was going from one place to another. Whereas the way I'm doing it is I just kept checking the quick list, and you'll basically get sort of teleported to where you're going, rested and all set up to be able to do a route on somebody else's dime. But I am not doing it for them I'm not doing it for the money at this point because hold on. I'm not doing it as for the money as much right now because I'm doing it for the achievement.
Right, I see. Purely achievement run.
Yeah, I prefer the continuity, if you will, of always having my truck. But basically, my truck is currently parked down in Turkey, and they flew me in to drive this yacht. Is basically how it goes.
Regular celebrity. The truck.
I mean, rich people got to get their yachts.
And this. Oh, and let me take a moment. Gravy wanted you to tell YouTube hello, your YouTube viewership.
Well, he did.
Of...
He said hi to YouTube.
Would YouTube be able to see the chat? Do you have that?
Unless the chat is malfunctioning, the chat should appear above my head on screen.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it is malfunctioning. The easiest way to find out is for you to type test into the chat. Gravy says, are you playing the game with your friends? Ryan is not currently playing the game. And I have not ever done a convoy in this game yet. But it is certainly something I'm interested in doing if anybody else. But I actually don't have any immediate friends who own this game. The only people I've met playing this game are other streamers who have either rated me or people who have come into chat because I was playing a game they were interested in. They were like, oh, we should convoy sometime. And I'm like, most of the people said that last year, this game didn't have multiplayer. Like 8 years, something like 9 years after this game and 5 years after American Truck came out, they added the ability to do multiplayer as a legit part of the game. But I've yet to do it with anybody, and I don't know anybody else who would be super interested in it. I mean, maybe Ryan, but like Ryan can't do it right now because of computer. That's what he keeps looking at right now.
If I can get the hardware in the game, absolutely.
So I hang out with friends on Dialogue, so I have someone to chat to. Because the thing is, you play so many hours of this game, in my opinion, you run out of things to talk about. Because when you're playing other games, like when I'm playing Spider-Man last night, there's actually a lot of me not talking because the characters say so much all the time, and then a podcast starts playing, and then people on the street are talking to you, and then the bad guys have quips and yada yada. Like, so much is happening. A little bit kind of like not quite as bad, but a similar case in Batman. Like, there's so much dialogue going on that you actually say less. But in this game, it's all open spaces all the time, and I don't. And if you're to watch the game, I don't know that you're not here to hear me talk because I'm streaming, so I'm part of the content. But I run dry. Without at least the chat, yourself, Gravy, prompting me to have something to talk about, I run out of topics. Or I start repeating myself really badly. I did manage to talk about Assassin's Creed for like an hour and a half at one point during a long run. I actually, but at that point I came, because I mentioned it in the previous recording the day before, I actually came to that stream with a text document on my phone with the order already set down, that I was like, what order would I put the Assassin's Creed games in? And then I talked about Assassin's Creed for like a long period of time to fill the air.
But I'm curious about that. Would you give us the summary? What order would you put?
Well, unfortunately, right now my phone is my camera. So, but if I had to off the top of my head, my favorite overall Assassin's Creed game, and when I say that, I mean gameplay, visuals, characters, setting, presentation of things, possibly multiplayer, all those things together, the best overall Assassin's Creed, I think, is Assassin's Creed 3. Like, that's the one I would pick. The one I would say has the best story, worst gameplay is Assassin's Creed Origins. The one that is the most worthless in the series, I would say, is Assassin's Creed Revelations. Like, it really adds nothing. It's not a better game than the two games that came before it. It's not functionally improved, and its story is spinning its wheels doing nothing. There's almost no characters from the previous game that are like directly tied to this game, like the titular revelations, meaning the revelations that are of the title of the game, are not revelations if you've actually been paying attention to what's been going on in the game and reading the emails and stuff that have been optional for the 2 or 3 games in front of it. There's no new information. There's no new revelations, so it's worthless. It's really the worst. I would argue Revelations might be the worst Assassin's Creed. Yeah, not to be confused with Origins, which has the worst gameplay. OMG.
So, refresh my memory. Is 3 the one with Haytham Kenway where you start out playing? Spoiler. Well, it's past 3 years.
It's past 3 years. We're okay.
Okay.
We can't talk about the Valhalla, and I think Odyssey might still be eking under 3 years.
Okay. So is Haytham Kenway the first person?
The first person you play as in 3, yes. That is how 3 starts.
Okay, so I really enjoyed that game. I really enjoyed 3.
Oh, yeah. 3's my favorite. Yeah. It's one of the only Assassin's Creed I've played through more than one time.
I haven't.
And the second time I played through it, I got all of the achievements on the 360 copy.
Nice. I own 3.
Oh, 1 second. I missed out on Gravy. Gravy said, Spider-Man Miles Morales, he sounds like he's... Wait, hold on. In Spider-Man Miles Morales, it sounds like he's shouting? What do you mean? Can you read the message I typed in chat, please?
they mean J. Jonah Jameson, his podcast?
I mean, Jay Jonah is always. Oh, where did you mean my audio balance? Because I kept asking people to help me with my audio balance. I wasn't sure that if the game was coming across too loud. Gravy might be talking about the audio balance. First episode, first stream curse is me trying to tweak the audio so that it sounds acceptable to people. I don't know if that's what you mean.
Maybe you were trying to get in character as J. Jonah Davis.
I was not. No. J. Jonah is not somebody I would try and get into character for. I feel like the way you talk to someone is kind of like shouting on the phone. He doesn't... Wait, what? I feel like the way you talk to someone, he's kind of shouting on the phone. He doesn't...
Always.
Oh, if you mean Ryan's dialogue? Yeah, Ryan is Ryan is are you? Do you have me on speakerphone?
Yes.
Okay, you sound like you have me on speakerphone.
Yeah, does it sound okay?
I mean, you have had some occasions where it sounded like you're far away or you're a little garbled or oh no, we've got a cop on the side. Oh, okay, let's hold on. Please don't pull over. Please don't pull over. Please don't pull over. Just let me go by.
Well,
I mean,
if you get more in the game, you might notice. Huh.
Oh wait, is he talking about the? I'm trying to figure out if Gravy. You're talking about the characters in Spider-Man sound like they're in a booth recording their lines loudly or something like that, or are you talking about Ryan? Which well, like, I feel like we're a little non-consecutor, and it's a little unhelpful with your lack of punctuation. I'm trying to decipher your sentences sometimes, like where exactly they begin. What is happening? What is this? What the hell? Excuse me, sir?
Whoa, what is going on?
I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive past you if I can.
I mean, it's neat, but okay. That's weird.
Whoa! I got shoved backwards by a caution cone.
Well, that's a powerful caution cone.
Hello, is my engine on? What's going on? Can I go through here? Is there a wall? What's happening? What's going on?
Whoa.
Okay, I'm sure I'm about to get a fine or something for... Apparently they're blocking off the exit, and I can only assume that there is a traffic problem up ahead. But there was literally no place for me to turn around and go somewhere else.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Maybe the game wanted you to figure out a different route.
That has happened before, but not in a while. It hasn't happened in fact, it hasn't happened this entire sitting in 2022. Like, this has been like 5 streams of this week, and that has not happened yet. So I'm kind of expecting that somewhere up ahead that there is a car turned sideways or something. Oh yeah, like this, whatever this is. It looks like there's some vehicles stopped up ahead. But the other lane is okay.
If you were able to get Bus Simulator 21 on your Xbox console, I could totally play that with you, multiplayer.
It has multiplayer? Is it in Game Pass?
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
So I just destroyed those caution cones and went over them, like, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, pretty. Look, we're going over a river right now.
What?
Ooh.
Oh, you're in the past. Did I go over a river? I don't remember.
Oh, I am in the past.
There's a nice lake over there, though. I see that.
There's like some farming fields, like corn. I appreciate the detail in this game, if you can't tell.
I do. It's quite nice. It's sometimes a little bit lacking when you look down over a bridge and you see like a community that you don't actually travel to, and like sometimes their buildings are not like up to snuff. It's occasionally noticeable, but
yeah. The game just teases you
straight on.
Going straight on. Huh. 5 hours for 325 kilometers. Is that right? Have I got another stop ahead of me? Maybe there's like a 2-lane road situation. Shouldn't be though, because I'm going to Oslo, so I've been there many times in this run trying to make this freaking yacht situation work, trying to get to the docks. Oh well. But yeah, Gravy, if you're still out there, if you have any like critiques about like the music volume is too loud or too soft, or the game audio isn't coming through, like I'm not opposed to trying to tweak the settings and making it more better audible for you, more better. Yeah, exactly, more better. Okay. Because I'm in a weird place right now because my little sister is... Everyone good? Cool. Alright, my little sister is currently playing Assassin's Creed Origins because it's in Game Pass. And she's really enjoying it. I'm like, oh, that's good? And she's like, what? I was like, well, remember when I was telling you about, like, she was playing We Happy Few and really enjoying it? And I was like, well, if you like the stealth of that game, you'll like it in a bunch of other games. Like, you basically have only up to go from there. And I was like, Assassin's Creed Origins, like, if you like the gameplay of that game, it's actually pretty bad. So you have only up to go from there. Like, no knocking it. If you're there for a good story, Origins has possibly the best story in the series. Though, honestly, at this point, that might not be true because I can't remember any of it right now. So, maybe not. But I remember thinking it had like one of the best stories, but man, especially when it forces you to do the ships and forces you to do the boss fights, all that stuff is just definitively terrible. Not to mention that you can't just fucking assassinate somebody and have them die. Like, that sucks a lot.
Exactly. They have like this whole spiel.
It's called Assassin's Creed. You're not playing as an assassin for the majority of the game, or pretty much until the end of the plot, and you don't have, and even though you have the ability to assassinate people, it does number damage. So it's possible that bigger guys, lieutenants and stuff like that, you just can't kill with an assassin thing. And that's never been a thing in the entire series up to that point. You've always been able to assassinate people. And
Well, I'm guessing because of the RPGs, like elements.
yeah, because they ruined the series by doing RPG shit. Ruined it. You want to ruin it further? In Odyssey, they made it so that you have dialogue choices. Oh my god, are you idiots? As somebody who loves dialogue choices, who loves story, who loves having characters with vested interest in things, none of that belongs in Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed, you're telling a historical series of historical events that happened, that have to happen a set way because because they've already happened. And there's always been some wiggle room, don't get me wrong, like what order you increase the size of the villa when you're playing as Ezio and stuff like that, like the memory of doing it. I allow for smudge, but literally when you make plot points happen differently, just make an RPG and don't make that Assassin's Creed. That doesn't make any fucking sense in an Assassin's Creed. Oh no, this stretch of road again.
Odyssey, that's what I'm gonna say.
I mean, I really like the gameplay of Odyssey. I like the characters of Odyssey. And the story of Odyssey was the third time the entire series jumped the shark. The third time it jumped the shark. Oh, that's another thing about Revelations. Revelations is the first time the series jumped the shark. Odyssey is the third time it jumped the shark.
I haven't played. I haven't beaten the story, so I don't know.
For Odyssey?
Yes.
It's fine. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think my biggest problem with the story of Assassin's Creed, Or you know what? I got a couple of critiques. Here. Let me give you some critiques about the story of Assassin's Creed. Um, first and foremost, they do cool shit one time, and then they don't do it again. There are lots of cool ideas that we have done in various Assassin's Creeds, but like we don't really expound on them or do them multiple times, and that to me degrades the quality of the canonicity of the entire story, like the flow. When you have an interesting idea, an interesting character, or a way of doing the Animus that's neat. Let me say, okay. Do you remember, did you play Assassin's Creed Unity?
Go straight on.
No, I have not. I actually have it.
Okay, do you mind if
But
I tell you some things? Because everybody knows that we're doing spoilers for Assassin's Creed at this point, but do you care if I say a few things that might be considered spoilers?
Let me ask some questions first.
Okay.
Is Unity worth playing?
At this point, after the patches, I would say so. I would play Unity after you play Rogue, though.
Alright, I plan on getting to Unity eventually, so let's hold on to those spoilers for right now.
Okay. Then I will say vaguely, without detailing it, there's some cool shit that happens with the Animus in Unity that absolutely should be replicated and used again in multiple other games in the series, and to this point, has never happened again. That's what I'll say vaguely. There's some cool shit that happens in the Animus in that game, and we never do that shit again. And we've had like
You're
5
making me
games
really
since then.
curious. You're making me really want to play Unity now.
I mean, I like Unity. Unity had had probably the best multiplayer, where there are actual like missions where you could go up to like 4 assassins all going through an actual mission outlook. Hold up, I think I'm about to lose RPMs. There we go. But okay, did you play Assassin's Creed Liberation? Sometimes known as Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, but was not originally just Assassin's Creed Liberation. Have you played Assassin's Creed Liberation? Brian, did I lose you?
Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you now. I suspected I lost you when you were not responding.
Oh,
Have you played Assassin's Creed Liberation?
I have not.
Okay. Then okay, you played Black Flag? Give me some help here.
Yeah, I've played but haven't beaten Black Flag.
Okay.
I've-
Then you should be aware of that the reason that the in-game currency in later Assassin's Creed games are called Helix points or Helix or whatever, they're just called Helix. Is because of the Helix game console, which I think we first really named in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It might have happened in Liberation, but the idea is that they're using Animus technology in a casual sense to be able to allow people to play out real life events curated by Abstergo Entertainment. Not Abstergo Industries, Abstergo Entertainment. Abstergo Entertainment, in conjunction with the evil corporation Ubisoft, the corporation Ubisoft inside the game made by Ubisoft, which itself is an evil corporation, so it works out.
That's some next level shit. That's some meta shit right there. Man.
Yeah, they have a series called Assassin's Creed in the game universe played on the Helix game console made by the evil corporation Ubisoft, which is actually inside of the game made by the evil corporation Ubisoft. So in any event,
Man.
in Assassin's Creed Liberation, it's the only game in the series, to the best of my knowledge, that you are literally playing the game version of Assassin's Creed for the events. So one of the things that happens in that game is that you can actually find glitches in the Animus programming where they've edited cutscenes where they don't, because they can't redo the cutscenes, but they can clip the cutscenes. So when you watch most of the cutscenes in that game the first time through, you may notice like what they call like an Animus glitch. You can actually solve that glitch by doing stuff in the game world, and then you get to see the full version of the cutscene. And it's amazing one of those things about that I'm always getting on to people about like what context is and dialogue and context. Man, the ability to snip out a couple of words here or a scene change here or something like that when you're doing like even a movie, you can absolutely recontextualize what it is that's happening, and that's done really well in Assassin's Creed Liberation. And again, this is a cool fucking Animus thing that they never do again. These games are filled with cool ideas that they never do again.
I thought you were talking about a cool Animus thing in Unity.
Yeah, but I switched gears to Liberation. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
There's a cool, another different cool Animus thing that happens throughout Liberation that they never use in another game.
Well, I kind of want to play Liberation now.
There is, Liberation has some mild crossover with Assassin's Creed 3. Actually, if you play any of the HD versions, they include there's a crossover episode, little downloadable content, additional story thing that is included in the HD versions, or the remasters for that matter. Same difference.
So Liberation, I think Liberty, does it also take place like during the American Revolution?
It happens around the same time. I believe it happens before and after the events of Assassin's Creed 3. It happens around New Orleans.
Oh, wow. Have you played Syndicate?
I have played Syndicate.
What did you think of Syndicate?
So there's this thing in Assassin's Creed that for me started in Assassin's Creed for open world games that I call doing the dots. Doing the dots is when there's just fucking all kinds of shit on your map, and you want to accomplish them and do whatever's there, or maybe you don't. But I'm somebody who does. If there's a treasure chest, I want to unlock it. I'm probably doing it for an achievement. Like, just making progress, doing all this stuff, there's doing the dots. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate is like, it's the epitome of there's just so much shit on the map to do. I liked the story, but I thought that they copped out on... Okay, so here's the thing I have a problem with... I have a problem with clear misogyny in video game design, Ryan. I don't know if you've picked up on this. Like, my problem with Grand Theft Auto 5 in the earlier conversation about how, like, you're going to have 3 playable characters. Not one of them is a woman. You have White Italian, who has been the main character of several Grand Theft Auto games. You have Black Youth, who has been the main character of at least one of the previous games, who is very popular. And then you have generic insert white guy playing Grand Theft Auto as a Grand Theft Auto character in Leicester, like, but you have no woman.
Oh, I think you mean Trevor.
Yes, I mean Trevor. Wait, who was? Oh, Lester was the guy in the wheelchair. That's where that name is relevant to the series. I was like, wait, hold on a second. Trevor.
He's like the typical internet troll character, but he's also like the setup guy.
He is the generic. I am somebody who plays Grand Theft Auto games like I play Grand Theft. Like this is the way I play Grand Theft Auto games. Except he lives his life that way in a Grand Theft Auto game. It's very meta. What yes, Trevor is.
Trevor.
But in any event,
is awesome.
I have a problem with that. I have a problem with. Oh, well, players don't actually want to play as women in Assassin's Creed games because they didn't the other time we did it. The other time they did it was Liberation. Liberation was a PlayStation Vita game. I think it was either Vita or PSP. I think it was Vita. And I'm like, the Vita is a failed mobile game console. You made a game with a female main character that quote-unquote nobody played. It's really solid for what it is as a mobile game. Even ported now onto the more modern consoles, it's really solid as an experience. But they're like, oh, well, people don't want to play as women. When Unity came around, Ubisoft was like when we were like, oh, you get to make your custom assassin character and play in multiplayer games with other people. Why can't you play as a woman? Oh, well, because programming for women, for female bodies and stuff in a video game adds too much complexity and too much time. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You have female characters walking around. You literally had a female main character assassin at some point. What the hell is your bullshit? And so
There was a sister
When-
in Syndicate.
right, which is
Hello.
all the way back to Syndicate, to the point I was making. That was all a related tangent, Ryan. It was all a related tangent.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're at Syndicate, and we finally have a female main character that I like who shares the spotlight with her brother.
Yeah. So she doesn't. it's
And you
not
can play
her
the entire
show.
game as either of them, and if you have the choice as a guy, you're probably playing as the guy, so then again, you also don't get... Like, the next time they do it is Odyssey, and at least in Odyssey, canonically speaking, Cassandra is the canonical story of the game. So there is that, but like, how long did it take us to get there?
And then turn left.
I don't know if I want to do another one of these yacht parks, but I've done it already a couple of times, so we'll see how it goes.
I haven't played the entire story of Odyssey, so no spoilers.
Well, in the book related stuff, well, no, it would be outside of the 3-year thing, so I don't think I'm not going to talk about spoilers for Odyssey, but what I will say is that because man, third shark jump was crazy in that game. But
when you say shark jump, do you mean like time jump? Like there's a jump in time?
Ryan, how do you not know
Or
what a
like-
shark jump is?
What's
Haven't I described to you what a shark jump is previously?
No. What is a shark jump?
Okay, so Ryan, once upon a time, there was a television
Yeah.
show in the 60s or the 70s, I think it was the 70s, called Happy Days. Okay? You know Happy Days.
Yeah.
You would be so far. Okay. In Happy Days, it had gone on for long enough that people had not quite tuned out, but like it was coming a little bit samey, a little bit formulaic. And one of the things was that Fonzie, one of the main characters of the show, would end up jumping his shark over stuff, or jumping his bike over stuff, I should say. And they did an episode where they were like at a SeaWorld type situation, and he literally jumps over a shark. And while everybody is in agreement that the show was in a downhill, like, was slowly falling out of favor and not being a huge deal anymore at some point, most people agree that the shark jump episode was, like, definitely the end of them watching. And so when you say something is a shark jump, it is a reference to that. The moment at which the show jumps the shark is the moment in which all creative input and thought has left the whatever you're doing, and you've just done something fucking crazy. And Assassin's Creed has done that, in my estimation, 3 times. And one of them was in Odyssey.
I think I played one of the moments you might be talking about.
The first one happens in Revelation. Do you know what happens in Revelation?
No, one of the moments in Odyssey. Didn't you say there were several moments in Odyssey?
No. There is one moment one very specific moment in Odyssey, and it would happen. Well, again, wait, hold on. Let me double check really quick. Hold on, what? Let me see if we're safe. I don't wanna get crazy with this, but let's see. When did Assassin's Creed Odyssey release? Assassin's Creed Odyssey release date. If it's within like a month or two, I'm not gonna do it. 2018. That's 4 years ago. Alright, guys. You've been warned. That's 4 years ago. Spoilers for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So, Ryan, it happens mild. I'm going to dance around it because Ryan hasn't finished the game. The event I'm talking about, which jumps the shark, is the end of, let's call it, the main story of the game. If you haven't gotten there, you haven't experienced it.
I don't know. I mean, do people care? Do people in your chat care?
Well, it's past the expiration date on the spoilers.
Okay.
But I will say this, let's go ahead and end the recording for YouTube since I got to the end of my run, and then everybody who's watching on Twitch can know that we're about to talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
All right, so I'll wait till you do that.
Okay. Well, for everybody who's watching later on YouTube, I would like to thank you for watching. This has been Euro Truck Simulator 2, not Assassin's Creed. I've been Hunterman.
I've been Ryan.
And we will see you in the future.
In the future. Oh, I tried to do it at the same time.
Ryan, you have a stutter. You shouldn't try and say the same thing at the same time as another. You might.
I
You might feel
I
foolish.
wanted
I don't want you to feel foolish. I want you to have a good time.
Well, I wanted it to sound cool. I thought it would be cool.
It might have been. All right, but in any event, ending the recording. Later, everybody.
Might have been. Okay.